This'll make it come loose. So I'm gonna finish up Rat's Nest finally. I hope you guys are excited as I am. If you guys remember the last time I had this out, I had alternator issues, I had my exhaust catch my carpet on fire, and since then I've actually went through 4 rebuilt alternators, all from different companies, and I'm just tired of it, so I decided to step up and change that today. I am gonna replace my old alternator with this JS alternator, and this thing is 240 amps, so it's gonna hold up. Oh yeah, and because I live in South Dakota and it's the winter time, the snow and the wind that we get from Wyoming is pretty brutal this time of year, and it actually blew my hood up high enough where it actually caught the bezel here and smashed it all up. So now I gotta find a new bezel, new piece. I had to smash it down just to get the hood open. It actually even bent the hood right there. You can see that it's bowed in, so I'm gonna have to bow that back out at the same time. But I will do that when I do the body work, and that'll be in another video. We're gonna do the body work, we're gonna paint this thing, and we're gonna get it done. I gotta rebuild the front axle too, and those are basically the things that we're gonna do to this Jeep over the next couple videos. So one of the things about these alternators is they run a smaller pulley. So with that case, I actually have a new belt. This is that part number if you need it. This is old new stock. I got this thing for like 10 bucks, which is super cheap for a belt these days. My Jeep is a 96. I have a different plug. It has a little resistor. It comes out to each side. Their plug is like this. They send you the plug and a wiring diagram. Basically, the green wire to my wiring harness, the green wire goes to the green wire, and the black wire goes to the green wire with the orange or red tracer. One of the other features they have also is the Big 3 wiring kit. You have 2 grounds and 1 hot. This one obviously goes from your alternator to your battery or to your hot connection. And then these grounds, one goes from your battery to your firewall, and one goes from your firewall or your frame to your block. Different 4-liter models have a few different ways of removing your belt, but they all pretty much start with loosening up your power steering pump. In this case, though, it's not that way. I actually take this, there's a tensioner pulley down here, and this bolt here will actually loosen that up and allow it to move down. But I probably will have to loosen the tensioner pulley up itself just a little bit, and then zip this out and release the belt. JS Alternators is a family-owned business, and I found them actually just trying to find a good alternator because I was having so many problems with these rebuilt ones from all the car parts stores. And they're known for building alternators for big boom boxes, basically big sound systems that pull just tons and tons of amps. So when I reached out to them, I was excited to find out that they were actually off-roaders themselves. I think that if you're willing to spend the money and you're tired of changing an alternator, especially on a 4-liter where they're not as easy to swap out as they are on some other vehicles, this is a really good option to replace ridiculously overpriced rebuilt alternators. All right, so the old alternator's out. One of the things that you guys probably remember, or maybe remember, is I went ahead and added a bigger wire to my power down to from my alternator down to my power port at my fuse panel. This is the wire that they replaced it with. You can physically see quite a bit of difference there between what I think is a 2 or 4 gauge wire to a 0 gauge wire. So this should be a much better wire to put on here. Okay, so here's your hot power going to your battery. These are for your basically your regulator. And then these are 2 grounds that just come off of this ground. This is the new wire that's going to go on the wiring harness in place of that. So basically, green goes to green, and the black goes to the black and orange striped wire. So all I did with the plug is put some butt connectors on it. I'm going to do the same on there. That way, in case I ever have to take it off, or if they change their design, it's just a quick connection, and then I can add these back onto it for the next one. All right, as you can see, the new alternator is a little bit, obviously, bigger than this alternator, so you do have to modify your bracket just a little bit. Oh. All right, everything's back in, the belt's on, battery's in, all hooked up. Before I tuck up my wires and everything, let's give this thing a start and check out the charge. Volts are down on the bottom right there. Let's make sure it charges. Got 12 or so. Oh yeah, right up to 14. Awesome. Awesome sauce. I gotta tell you guys, I still love my Harbor Freight flashlights. I use these all the time. Here's that exhaust problem I had right there. And you can see that it just got so hot it started melting the floor or melting the carpet. I went ahead and I got a new catalytic converter and a new exhaust, a new I don't know if it's Flowmaster, I don't know what it is. One of them, it's gonna breathe exhausts. I'm not sponsored by any exhaust company, so I'm just gonna run whatever I can get. And I got that cheap. So that's what's gonna go under here. Now this is the funny part. I got the cat back exhaust. I wanna say it's like $100 off the internet. And then this catalytic converter, which is 49 state legal. It's not legal in California for some reason, but it says that it's EPA approved and everything else. This factory replacement catalytic converter was like $60. So I don't know why everybody's stealing catalytic converters. Maybe there's something else in other ones that aren't in these ones now. So I got a Flowmaster exhaust. I ordered this a while back when that happened, and I just haven't had a chance to do it, and I forgot which one I ordered. And if you're wondering how it's going to sound, it's probably something like this. But if I put this on my Samurai, I'd be like, brand new mandrel bent exhaust. So because I don't want my floor to catch fire ever again, because that was scary and it sucked, I'm going to go ahead and heat wrap these things. And even though I have a heat shield on this cat, I think I may just go ahead and wrap it as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and wrap this exhaust at the same time. And of course, I'm going to go with green. If you guys are wondering how to do this, make sure you go back to our other video where Matt showed you how to do it on a header. Exhaust is the exact same concept. This thing already has a Flowmaster exhaust on it, so it shouldn't change the sound, other than I need to definitely change this catalytic converter out. It looks like I hit it with a rock here somewhere at some point. Shocker, right? Obviously this hanger's bent, and this hanger looks nice and rusty, so I'm going to go ahead and blast those with some WD-40 and then take this off. You can tell this thing is just heat scorched, man. First things first, I got to take out the O2 sensor. Silly dog, you coming in to say hi? You coming in to say hi? Hey buddy, hey buddy, you gonna help me do the exhaust? Huh? Oh yeah, oh yeah. We're babysitting my daughter's dog. His name's Sully, like from Monsters Inc.
Yeah, I got smelly garbage or old dumpster.
Oh yeah, say hi to the camera. Say, oh yeah, say peoples. All right, I'm gonna have to take a fetch break and then we'll get back on this exhaust. What size are you? I think 22. I was right, haha. Now come loose, you poo-poo. We got it. Well, just like I expected, even though taking the clamps off, this thing is not coming loose. But word on the street is, this will make it come loose. So what I did here was just cut down the side of this without cutting into the original exhaust here, and that loosened it up where I can just wiggle it and pull it off. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. MagnaFlow. Maybe that was my problem. Is I have a MagnaFlow cat with a Flowmaster exhaust. Them two broke it. That's why it clogged up. So here's a funny thing. It must have been my muffler that got hot, because the cat was right here, the muffler was here, and this is where the carpet burned. So I think I figured out why I had problems with this getting so hot, and here's why. You see how long this piece is? They have that same exact length of piece. This thing is the exact same replica of a MagnaFlow high flow cat. So as you can see right here, the bung is right up against there. That means this piece is all the way into here, right up against that wall. You can see the welds from where the wall is on this muffler. So it's not allowing it to disperse and get the heat out. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off and then still put it back where it needs to be and weld it in. And that way, I'm not gonna have all this shoved up inside the muffler to block it off. Also, do you guys like my bumper as much as I do? I'm actually kind of proud of it. I like how I made these little steps to go up and go, you know, just finish out the taillight. and be tough. I also want to call out all you naysayers who said that I can't believe you're using 3/16 steel on a bumper. That bumper, everything on the Banana is 3/16 steel as far as their bumpers go, and the reason why is because you're bolting it up to 1/8 inch or less unibody. So this bumper is still stouter than that sheet metal, trust me. This is still one of my favorite tools for exhausts. This thing's gonna hook me and cut me. I have a feeling. Do you guys know if anybody makes this tool bigger, where it's just a bigger setup? Because I would actually buy it. Look at the little hole there. Bloop. Coolio. Ding. Now I'm going to go ahead and, now that I know that my heat problem was here from this being in too far, I'm still going to go ahead and wrap this muffler up because I don't want to have that issue. And then we'll go ahead and wrap the exhaust. I think I'm going to leave the cat just the way it is. So I didn't really like how these clamps were holding. I didn't think they were tight enough, so I went ahead and just got some stainless hose clamps from the hardware store, and I clamped it down to hold it there. I also did the same thing up here on the actual pipe. This part I'm going to keep open because it's low enough down here. I don't think it's going to get anywhere near my floorboard. And some of you guys may be wondering why I'm putting in the cat. Why I'm putting a cat back in, and the real reason is because it's a driver first and a wheeler second. Even with you guys that commented that said I shouldn't have put a limited slip in there and pulled the spool out, no, I did that for a reason, because I want it to be a driver first, wheeler second. And if I ever get pulled over, I want to make sure I got that cat, because it's going to be getting more road miles than off-road miles. I guarantee that. Alrighty. Oh yeah. So I went ahead and put a heat shield underneath the carpet on the top side. So I'm going to clamp this, loosely clamp this, and then we will do the rest of the exhaust. And I'm going to make sure I put anti-seize on the O2 sensor before I screw it back in to its little bunghole. Yeah, that's right, I said bunghole.
You can take me, but you cannot take my bunghole.
I want this to be a little easier to come off if I ever got to take it off again. Exhausto mundo. And I got my heat shield protecting, kick that line out. I got the heat shield protecting the shock and the gas tank. There's a bigger gap than it looks like behind that shock too, but yeah, so shouldn't have any heat problems. Got a little bit of gap here now, so should be good to go. One way to find out. Alright guys, we put on a really awesome alternator by JS Alternators. We redid my exhaust with some Amazon specials. I'll make sure I leave the links down below. Also guys, don't forget to come by and say hi to us in Ohio on February 25th and 26th. We are going to be in Wilmington with the Muddy Buddies Jeep Wrangler Club at the Dayton Off-Road and Outdoor Expo. So I hope to see you guys there. Stay tuned. I got a lot more to finish on Rat's Nest, but we're going to get it done. It is getting done. It is the project we are getting done. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys so much. And check these videos out. See you next time. Oh, insulation everywhere. Cold shower night tonight.